I got eviscerated in the comments on that. The people who are saying that I didn't want Bob to break 80 are out of their minds. A lot of people are like, Joe secretly doesn't want him to break 80, which is
I don't agree
part of
with
my
that.
French, because no one wants to see you break 80 more than I do.
Now these haters come on. The D-Man talked about doing his version of that, and knowing that Joe would go at it with these guys.
People are pretty tough behind the keyboard of an internet screen. Joe versus Schmo.
Wouldn't it be? Wouldn't
I let her buy immediately. I got up out of
No, I don't know. You didn't let her buy immediately.
Go forward. There's nowhere for me to go. There's people behind.
No.
Go right away.
Talking
Mike. Talking to the mic.
When he's not ready.
He's
Yes, we are.
rolling.
We're ready.
Are we rolling?
Yeah,
Why didn't you say something?
because you were arguing. It was good
my
content.
Yeah, don't.
And we're rolling. Let's roll.
You're doing great, Jay. Bob.
Normally
Don't
we
worry
need an
about
intro
it.
too. This
No,
is the Brilliantly
because
Dumb, or not Brilliantly Dumb show.
Oh,
This is the Bob Does
Jesus.
Sports podcast.
Christ.
You know, normally
back
we need
to
to have
sleep.
a proper intro. I hate. I have an
we
issue
never do a proper
with
intro.
podcasts
Oh, we
that
love
just start. I don't like
Well, then you
podcasts
hate your own
where it just
kind.
starts.
Then
How
you
many
hate yourself.
Podcasts you listen to?
A few.
Name them.
Bob
I
Does
listen to
Sports,
yeah,
Brilliantly Dumb.
Show.
Sportsman.
He was the talented Mr. Roto's fantasy.
Oh yeah.
No, I
He
listen-
goes, oh yeah, Sportsman's a great one.
I listened to.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, Sportsman's great.
That's a good one.
Unbelievable.
I listened to.
Oh yeah, Sportsman's a great one.
I listen to Rogan at times. I just don't like podcasts when they just. It's like there's no intro.
Rogan has no intro.
I don't
He
like
just
that. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
you
I don't
ever-
like
you ever
how it
notice
just
with
starts.
Rogan, he
There's a
just-
beginning and end to everything in life. There should be a beginning to the podcast.
He does that big sniff, like he'll talk about produce. He'll be like, "Yeah, the thing with produce is," and he does like the big
Rogan?
He takes like a giant sniff. Yeah, he just, that's like a.
He's an animal.
I just know
He's a
this-
fucking animal.
He has if you get him laughing, he will howl like a hyena sometimes. And me and Pop, have we done that? Was that with
Yes,
you?
it was
He like
we
loses
started.
his like body control.
Yeah, he starts like
Yeah.
shrieking.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But he laughs at things that like, you know what I find funny is if you watch him and like Sebastian, when he had Sebastian on, Sebastian said things like about, you know, Joe doing like 3 hours before he gets his day started with like cold plunge and all that. And, like he was like making jokes, but Joe didn't see it as a joke because that like Joe takes that so seriously, like his routine. But like Sebastian was like, Jesus, like, you know, 3 hours and your day hasn't started, but he wouldn't see it as a joke.
You're telling me you take a cold plunge every morning?
Yeah, he's like, Jesus, Joe. He's like, that's like 3-4 hours before you had a cup of coffee. Like,
It takes a while to get to see you too. Sometimes though, different things.
well, I in
got
all
the
honesty,
gym.
I do have my morning.
Yeah.
Well, it's wake up, right to the gym,
Well,
sauna,
Cameo.
cold plunge. No, the cameos. Well, the 24-hour ones before the gym.
It's hard to get you before noon, man.
No, that's not. See, that's not true, bro. That's
Is
not.
that the narrative, Pop?
No, the narrative is that you got banged yesterday at the airport.
Well,
what happened
yeah,
there?
the narrative is this clown is trying to make it sound like I was not courteous to someone when I got up. By the way, I don't understand why some people on a plane, they have no, they just have to move. This woman
That I
got
agree
out
with.
3 to 4 times
That I
during
agree
that flight, which is ridiculous. How many times do you have to go to the bathroom? It almost made me feel like she was pulling a pop.
One is I can't ask a grown man if I can use the bathroom.
Yeah,
That's number one.
that's tough.
That's number one.
Why not?
That's like prison.
I'm
Yeah.
a grown man. I'm not going to ask another grown man, hey, I need to use
You mean the
bathroom."
guy next to you?
Yeah,
If you're not in the
Do you
aisle.
But
mind
why
if
don't
I
you just
go
say, "Excuse me"? Like,
I don't like saying that.
okay, well, neither do I. It's a
Yeah,
good point.
yeah.
I just didn't.
But
okay.
also, more importantly, I get up several times to go to the bathroom.
This woman was on the window and she made us
Okay.
get up 3 to 4
Take-
times. And then we were sitting in row 35 and she goes, I have a quick connecting flight I'm going to miss. I'm like, even if you get by me, which I let her by right away. I was
you
like,
said
ain't
that first.
I said, I'll let you by. You ain't going anywhere.
Exactly.
You said that to her.
Yeah, I started laughing. I was like, oh, you
See,
ain't.
that's what I
He was courteous.
He was laughing.
He was courteous.
And
he
he's
was
like,
he was
I mean-
courteous to her.
By the way,
It was
He
crazy.
can concur. They missed the flight. They didn't move.
Yeah, because you blocked their
No,
ass.
that's fucking. See, now you're full of shit.
No,
you're
you-
lying.
okay.
I let her by, but then
Correct.
there was a guy
but
behind.
you made a comment.
I did make a comment to her.
but not to her. To the whole plane.
No, I made
you
a-
out loud laugh, and you're like, "Nobody's getting by when you're in section 37."
No, yeah, I did because the old guy behind, he got to keep it moving and we got to go fast and quick. And I looked over at him. I'm like, yo, you're in 35. And there was a pilot
But
next
why
to
do
me
you gotta
and he
say
started
anything?
howling.
Why not just let him by?
See,
Like, why do you have to
well,
give them your 2 cents?
My thing is
you
like
had to
Near
make
him.
a comment.
My
Because
thing-
it's unbelievable to me that you think you're going to get anywhere. You're in 35.
Let him try. That's you don't need to be a deterrent to that. Let him fucking.
let them go.
But you draw attention to you and people next to you who don't want that attention.
I had a woman in the aisle seat in front of mine, 22, I guess she would have been.
Yeah.
This old lady popped up like you've never, like out
It's
of a
crazy.
cannon. Popped up like a cannon directly down the aisle. She only had to get by one person. She's right at first class.
But did she have to get a bag?
No.
So that's a huge play. Yeah.
It was
The
a big
people-
play. I mean, that's good. No, she did. But her bag was further up.
The people who
She got
get
lucky.
up when
She
you
was
went
there.
she
did.
pulled the pop.
She was gone.
I will say the people. Well, she probably pre-planned it. The people, Cutsy. The people who get in 37. What happened?
I know another pop plane trick that he does, which works well for him, is he'll like assess when he's like going in, he'll look at the space above the first class and he puts his bag in that first class compartment.
'Cause they're all
so he
sat
doesn't
already.
have to go anywhere.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense because they're already sat. As long as all the seats are
I'm not
full.
saying it's bad, I'm saying it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, the worst is when you get to your seat and there's nothing and you got to put your bag behind where you're sitting because
Yeah.
you're fucked. If your bag is behind where you're sitting, you're never going to get up and be able to get back
the
there.
only
and
time
you have to wait.
I will say I do feel bad. Like some people are annoying about it, but like not like having to run through the airport's one of the worst feelings in
it's
the
awful.
world. Like it just sucks. And then like if you're in security, not knowing if you're like, it's one of the most stressful situations. The one that was hilarious was when remember we got that connector and
Charlotte
made it and
Pop.
Pop missed it
Yeah.
by seconds. But this is when Pop was a little heftier,
was a
so
little hefty,
he got
yeah.
a little gassed. It was a long way.
The Charlotte Shuffle.
He didn't have the stamina that he would now. The Charlotte Shuffle.
I
was
get to the gate.
sprinting.
I get to the gate and they're like, "Sorry, the door's closed." And I just look at my phone and it's just a couple of texts from you guys. Sorry, Bob.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Probably like a real.
No, Bob said something like, looks like Pop didn't make it.
No, I think I said to you like a couple
Said
years
something.
ago you would have made that.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he banged him after he got banged.
But I will say, Dave, and I love you to death, but I said it to you, I get very, very stressed out. Like if I have to go to the airport and you guys aren't around, like if I don't have other bodies with me and it's just you and the D-man, I get so stressed out because he's going to piss off. Like he can't go the full way to the gate without pissing at least 2 to 3 people
Who
off.
am I pissing off?
Whether it be the bag attendant, whether it be a person, somebody in line,
I'm quite courteous to the staff working at the airport. Always, I always make a little chit chat. I always say, "How are you doing today?" I am because they have a tough job.
Living in a different world.
I'm about to Rogan laugh
Yeah,
over
dude.
here, dude.
I'm very nice to the people who take your bags and stuff. I'm normally very courteous to
The
those.
funny thing, I don't think we talked about it on the pod, was with you with the now look, this guy did get a little too snippy with you. I thought it was unnecessary, but we were at the airport, me and Joe, and we went to a Cava. And
Oh,
dude,
that guy
it's like
was out of
Chipotle where
line.
they have the glass in front, but Cava had like, it was like the green monster. Like this was a big glass. And Joe goes to pick out his protein and he goes over
was
the
the sauces, Bob.
glass and he points.
It was sauce.
By the way, the whole point of the window, the whole point of the glass is to not
was-
have
I
that.
don't know
one
how
of
you're
the
going to
funniest things.
contaminate a sauce that's in a bottle by pointing at it.
No, well, but
The guy was over the top. He yelled at me, and you don't yell. The customer's normally supposed to be right.
In matters of taste.
But it
Yes.
does. What if you? It does matter.
But it was
Like
the
if you're
sauces. It
touching
wasn't
your
like I
nose or
was
something.
putting my hands over the chicken. It was over the sauce. I was like, I want that Chipotle Caesar. Because it was, and by the way, it was a fire plate.
I couldn't believe when I was howling laughing because I already had my bowl. I was good. I was just watching it. I mean, he just went fucking creamed over
Because
the
you know
glass.
how many times when you point at something, whether you're at Subway or you're somewhere else, and they're like, oh, this, or no, this, or that. And it's like, it's a whole whirlwind. Like, I just wanted to point at the sauce that I wanted so he knew so there was no discrepancy.
Have you found though that you get in more arguments with staff than like most people do? Have you found that like your average?
It's a hit or miss. There's sometimes where I'm a little out of line, I'll say, but then there's also sometimes where people get chippy with you and the average person will just take it. I'm not going to sit there and take it. Like that's just not how I'm wired. Like I think part of it too was for decades, I had to take unwarranted bang jobs from other people when I was at my job. So now it's
revenge.
It's just like, yeah, if someone's going to come at me, I'm going to come right back.
It's his Era's tour.
That's not crazy.
The snake's
That's
not going to
not
let
crazy.
you. I'm going to come at you.
That's not crazy, but that's not crazy. But I will say, most people in life are not chippy. Like, if you spend a day going to a million places, you're not going to get many chippy.
People meet you with your like.
Correct. You're not going to get many chippy like servers or anything like that unless you're chippy to them.
The thing is, too, I will say this, and I think all the people in the room would agree. I'm actually a nice person. I'm not like a bad spirited guy. I don't wish bad on anyone. I try to be nice to people, but there's times where people just piss me off, and I'm just at the point where I'm just going to react the way I react. And like, you're going to poke a snake, the snake's going to take a lunge at you. This guy could have been like, sir, please don't point. He's like, no pointing over the glass. Like, yell at me. I'm not going to be like, sit there. And by the way, I didn't really say anything.
Reminds me of my dad. My mom had that like intervention with my dad where she was like, she said to me like, I'm gonna say something to him about like his pickleball like behavior because like he does lately. He gets a little chippy on the court with people, like bad calls or like he gets a. And he never used to do that. And she tried to talk to him about it. He's like, Sue, I'm at the point in my life where I don't have to be nice to people that I don't like.
He is right. I'm going to be a bad old person.
But at the same time,
Yes, but he's a lot older than you.
Yeah, he's twice your age. Well, no,
He's young at heart.
Imagine where the D-man's going to be at that time.
dude. When Joe is like 60,
What's that Clint Eastwood movie?
oh,
With
to
the
get off
car?
my
Gran
lawn.
Torino.
Gran
Torino.
Torino.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn. Yeah.
I don't think I'm that bad. But I will be. I don't
Great
think I'll
movie.
be that bad. I hope I have a Gran Torino.
You could. You could.
No, I don't think I'm a bad person. I think
know.
I think
No
that-
one sat here and said
I
you're
know,
a
but
bad
there's this
person.
misconception
Well,
that
I'll
I'm
tell you,
Not that you're a bad
terrible,
person. It's just difficult.
that I
It's just-
abuse staff. Like that's fucking insane. I happen to tip people really well. I try to treat service staff incredibly well. But if you come at me, if you take a shot, be
You
prepared
know where
to
he's
fucking.
the best tipper? If you catch Joe on a run at the craps table, if you bring him
yeah.
a drink,
Oh,
He'll
bro.
toss.
he'll toss like
Oh yeah,
20
he loves
bones.
that
It's
little.
crazy.
That's great.
Love
That's a
that.
great feeling. Yeah.
Dude, the amount of
Hey,
money that he throws to
stick.
these.
Back something for yourself.
I'm also a little. I'm a
What did you
little
say?
For the stick.
For the stick.
One for the stick.
For the staff.
One for the crew.
I like to. For the,
But when you're making
Lunch on me.
money, you're tossing like hundreds there.
well, over
I've seen
time,
you
yeah.
do it.
I'll throw like 10, 20 bucks at a time.
Yes.
But you know what? I am also very superstitious with stuff like that. I feel like if you treat them good, you're gonna have good luck on your
karma
side.
thing.
Yeah.
I agree though. You're a very, very nice guy. You're just one of the only really nice guys I know who finds himself in as many situations as you do.
yeah.
It's you find yourself in a lot of
I've seen a
precarious.
Yeah.
I've seen a few more hands up from the D man lately. though.
Recently, you've been a lot
recently there's
better.
been a few more quicker hands up.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna be a dad, man. I can't be.
Do you know the one that really, when we were playing, where he almost hit into those guys? That one got me so mad, where he literally like hit into those people in Arizona,
Oh,
and me
yeah.
and you got into it on the tee box.
Launched it over.
Launched it
see
over
the
them,
people
and he was
there.
acting like I was crazy.
Was it the guy in the guys that were on the green?
No, there was
I
like
was
a
so
bunker over
pissed
there.
off.
on
Yeah,
the
they were
right,
still kind of
on the
off,
left.
but
Would not-
they
Oh, I
was, but yeah.
correct. But then once
I was
we
like the
did,
second person to shoot, so like it wasn't like I just went up on the tee box and was like hitting before I was supposed to. Like I think Bob teed off before me, and then I teed off, and then they came out of nowhere.
Oh, I wasn't gonna get him.
But it wasn't that you hit into them. It wasn't necessarily that you hit
driving
into
good
them,
with
though.
it.
Yeah, not far.
It wasn't that you hit into them. It was that you weren't acknowledging that you did it.
I don't like to be. I don't like to be in trouble for things. I don't like to. I don't like to be.
Who does?
yeah, I mean, no one enjoys.
But
that.
in that situation, it wasn't like I had done something wrong. Because I had
But you don't
walked
weigh-
up to the
you don't
tee when it was
weigh-
my turn to hit.
But you don't weigh the consequences of your actions. You just do them.
I feel like sometimes you think that like saying "my bad" is like the very worst thing that could
It's
ever
pretty
happen
bad.
in life. It's not.
Pretty bad.
It's really not.
It's an indictment.
okay.
It's an
It's okay
indictment.
to make a mistake, recognize it, and then be like, oh, that's on me, my fault.
You don't.
And then it's over.
If I'm driving and
I get that situation was difficult because we didn't see them, but right when you hit, they popped out, and you went.
You know what I was
You
thinking?
shipped it over their heads, and I understand you didn't intend to do that, but you did it, right? It happened.
Hey,
My point,
was
like,
a
if I-
great
shit,
drive.
I
It was a
shouldn't have
great
hit.
drive.
Yeah, it was a
clearly
pipe
shouldn't
shot.
have hit.
It was a pipe
I will say,
Great show.
if in that
Great
same
show.
situation, Stu, if I had gone up to the tee box and just hit, I would have been like really upset. I would have been like, I'm so sorry that, like, I would have taken the ownership. I think it was because Bob hit before me, and it was just like we didn't see them. That I was like, well, I'm not a bad guy because
But even when the intention is not bad things can still happen, and they deserve an apology.
That was the
That's
same.
a great point. You can intend to do well. You can intend to not get into an accident on the road.
Yeah.
My intention is to drive safe. But if
I
you
intend
do
to do
something
well
and you cause
all
an
the
accident,
time.
it's yours.
Well, I would
There's
call
a
it-
bunch
I
of
would call
guys
it a
at Terminal
collision.
B will tell you
collision.
that was a good
Yeah,
intent.
like no matter, you went out with good intent on the roadway,
Correct.
but you caused an accident.
Yes.
So that's
this is not how I intended this podcast to go.
How beautiful is this view? Look at this view.
It is a beautiful place.
Yeah, can we talk about Utah?
Utah.
Yeah, we're in
nice.
Utah.
Give it two.
Yeah, Utah.
I never been.
This really is. I mean, it's really
Black
cool.
Rock
Excited.
Desert.
Don't know much about
Black Desert.
Utah myself, but it looks incredible. Yeah, big shout out for them having us out here, and we have a Grant Horvat major today. 7 people. Six people. So it's going to be buckle up. It's going to be a long day. Yeah. But a fun one.
You
I'm
get
getting
strokes.
45 strokes. So it was getting 10. We talked about, I think on the last podcast, how Grant unintentionally, he's the nicest guy of all time and a friend, but he bangs you. He bangs us with
I feel like he bangs you more than almost anyone.
Oh, I've got when he did the video, and to his credit, it came down to the wire. We talked about the one where I started 200 yards out from every hole, so par 5, and it came down literally to like the last shot. So I mean, look, he knows what he's doing. But I'm getting 25 strokes, which is
Listen, the Breaking 80 that just came out, the way that you played, if you play like that, which by the way, I got eviscerated in the comments on that. Part of it was I was on an edible and I was a little bit much, but also too, I didn't realize how much I talked about the score. Now, the people who are saying that I didn't want Bob to break 80
exactly.
are out of their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Because no one wanted to see any. But I'm getting off track. My point is, if you
Who said-
play
did
like
they say that?
a lot of people are like, Joe secretly doesn't want him to break 80, which is fucking horseshit.
I don't agree
Pardon
with
my
that.
French, because no one wants to see you break 80 more than I do, and no one wants to support and see you play well more than I do. So that's horseshit. But if you play like you did at Keswick, I said that on purpose. Keswick, today I think you could win.
I'm a good Virginia golfer.
Yeah,
Yeah, historically.
It's not for you.
If I'm in Virginia, I play good.
Yo, they were saying that the I know the Bryan Bros are amazing at golf, but last night when we were checking in the lobby, they were talking about strokes before you guys got there, and Grant's like, he's like, oh yeah, Wesley and George are going to shoot 65 tomorrow, so you guys are going to need, your 20 strokes is like a good number. It's like they're just going to go out and shoot 65.
I think they could be 2 or 3 under. I don't think they're going to shoot a 65.
I don't know. It sounds like I don't know
what tees we're playing.
They're the real deal.
Wesley
the
is
other
play.
thing.
I think we're playing back tees.
Oh, then you know what?
I will say
25 is the number, if not
just
more.
looking out the
Look at that
window,
block
Yeah,
the
that's a
opportunity, the
monster,
opportunity
dude.
for lost balls is going to
Black
be
lava.
insane.
everywhere.
There's cliffs. There's shrubbery everywhere. It's going to be
I
interesting
watched some
out there.
flyovers this morning. There's hole 3 is a par 3 that is reminiscent of the Riviera. How they have the bunker right in the middle of it.
Isn't that 10?
Hole 3 here.
Oh, yes.
No, you're
great-
talking about 10 is a driving. It's actually
that's
like
a great
hole 14 or hole 13.
I love Riviera.
And Riviera, and it's got a bunker right in the middle, and it slopes severely. So like if you go on the wrong side of the bunker, that's going to be a bitch.
Remember, we played Riviera with Hallie Ledbetter, and she
We
gave you
were
that bunker.
Oh my! Remember, I got mad because the construction guys were like smashing the
Crazy.
stuff as I'm trying to
They
hit.
were setting up for the tournament, and like they're setting the stands up, and he's about to putt, and he like couldn't believe that these guys. It
Nobody
was
will
like,
stop.
no. When they're doing construction on that, they're trying to get those stands up. They don't.
But the thing
give
is,
a
Joe, their
fuck.
intentions were good.
They're nice
The whole thing
guys.
about it.
I don't think
You
they
just got a
were.
little chippy with them.
They were laughing at me. Remember, they were laughing at us on that
Yeah.
par 3.
Yeah. Sounds about right. I was watching. We had no Wi-Fi on the phone on the plane.
There was.
There was Wi-Fi.
The second flight.
Yeah.
What? I couldn't get on. I couldn't
it was
get
Wi-Fi.
on.
Me,
Really?
Yeah.
he got on.
Because you were talking before, you said there's no Wi-Fi.
was
Where
bad.
It wasn't showing. It wasn't showing up
showing.
before, but it was
the
there.
outlets
Yeah.
didn't work either until the plane was in the sky.
Fuck off, for real. That's
You didn't go back and look.
I put in the,
No,
if you look
I was
back in the
going the
group
whole
chat,
time.
It's so
I kept-
regrettable right now that he missed
you go
2
back in the
hours
group chat, I go,
of
boys,
Wi-Fi.
we have
Can't
Wi-Fi,
handle it.
we're alive.
But you know what I
so
did?
pissed.
I did create a new folder, so the next time we're on a plane or we're just
Were you just
firing,
going through old photos?
I just started a new folder.
That's why he had all
just
those
some new-
old ones that he was sending in the
Oh,
other
he
That
fired
was
day.
some
the
bad
almond feed.
ones
That
in
was
there.
the almond. The one of Jet where it says snack shop.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's in Oregon. That's in Oregon, right?
No,
Yeah.
that was in LA.
That was in
I
LA.
remember that day. That
Where
was one
were
of the
we
worst.
going?
There's one
we were
to
going
golf.
to no.
Moore
You know
Park.
where we were going?
Moore Park.
No, we were going. We were going to film somewhere. It wasn't the original scramble that we all did because that was a different.
Pelican?
No, where was that? Angeles National.
Yeah.
But I don't think it
yeah.
was because I didn't. I
was-
was not
no,
that
we- no,
large in that
was it
video.
at Strawberry Farms?
No,
Could have
no. This
been.
was after.
I
though.
remember it was.
That was
I
time
remember
not
that
that
day
early.
we stopped.
There's
at
one from Bandon.
far from your
What's that?
house.
There's one
Oregon?
from Bandon.
Of him.
Same thing. Same exact shot.
That man
with like
was
the
troubled.
halfway house behind him. That says
No, it was a
something?
gas station.
Oh,
It's like the first,
when we stopped in
we
like
got-
Bend,
got into a
Oregon.
town.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I wasn't as massive as I was in the
There's
video.
one
the
I have
one he
a pop
sent
in an
last night.
airport, and there's a restaurant called like the Fat Pig in front of it, and he just has like a big thing of whatever, and it just says the Fat Pig behind.
I haven't seen this one.
Yeah,
Jesus,
it's there.
you will.
I think there's
You will
see it.
Yeah, just go on, get on another
You will
flight,
see
and
it.
you'll
You
see
know
it.
this one?
No, but you'll see it. I'll see it.
sure you'll see it.
I'll see
The
it.
one
By
you
the way-
snagged to me yesterday was tough.
How about
Oh, yeah.
Yo, how about the flight attendant grilling us in the emergency
That was
row?
crazy.
happened?
We were sitting there. Normally they don't say anything.
They were bad.
We
yesterday.
were
They-
sitting
they were
there.
rude.
What happened?
No, I thought they were fine, but we
Mine
were
was
sitting there,
bad.
me, Bob, and Joe was next to us, and then there was one other guy, and the lady comes over and she's like, "You guys are in the emergency exit row.
wild.
Please review the ticket." And we're like, "Sure." And then she came back and she's like, "Where are the emergency rafts?" And we all looked at her. She's like, "Where are the emergency rafts?" Like she started quizzing us.
quizzing
Yes,
you?
she's like, "Where are the
I
emergency
would have
rafts?"
had a problem
And
with that.
I was like, I don't know, because like you kind of just assume you're not gonna have to
She
do
was
it.
like-
And she's like, "I'm gonna go back and forth." She's like, "And when I come back, you're getting another quiz." It was
cra-
insanity.
So we like took the pamphlet out and we're like,
Yeah, we were like
studying it.
reading
Yeah,
the
we-
thing
Yeah,
to like
I mean,
prepare for a pop
It's
quiz.
what you're supposed to
Sure.
do, right? But like,
It just never
it's never
happened.
happened.
Yeah. And then she came back and the second time she didn't quiz. She was just like, "Did you guys read it?" We're like, "Yeah." "Can you assist?" "Yeah." Never saw her again.
That's probably your move.
Bob switched rows. He went behind.
Yeah.
He left the
Yeah?
exit.
I didn't want to be quizzed. No, it was mid-flight. I was.
Oh, it was right after. He went right behind.
By the way, the two of you in an exit row would be the most useless exit row of all time.
That's what I was
We
thinking.
would all be
That's what I was
fine.
just exactly what I was thinking when I booked it.
I was looking. I don't even. I
We
wouldn't
wouldn't
even
stand
know.
a chance. You and
Wouldn't
him
even
together.
know what
He
to
doesn't.
do.
Bob
What I
would
know.
be filming it,
Yeah.
and you would just be
come
like,
on,
Correct.
No, I'd be like
"Finally,
doing
I'm
it.
going to my peril."
I'd be
I
doing
can
it,
finally
and
be
everybody would
happy.
be tweaking out. I'd be like, "What the fuck do you want me to do?" Like,
Yeah,
it's not
you would
fucking
be
opening.
angry with people.
I'd
What
say
I-
something. I'd be like, "Come on, guys, we could do it." Be like, "Shut the fuck up. We're gonna die. Let's just accept it." And he'd be filming it. "All right, folks, we're going down."
At least I know where the raft is. It was under the seat. I looked it
The thing
up.
about that exit door is how do you open it and not fly out immediately?
No, you don't.
I
no.
don't think
because
you
you're not.
do.
You don't.
You don't fly out.
You don't
The
open it.
wind
You don't
pull you
open it
right
at that point. You open it upon
Upon what?
like
Landing.
Right, nobody's like jumping out.
I
you're
think if
saying?
you're going down, you're going to want to open that door and get out.
No.
No, but then you're just
See,
guaranteed.
nobody knows.
death.
That's
no,
what I
no,
would
no.
think too. That's
It's
what I would
not-
think.
by the
And
way-
I think that's what most people
I'm not
think.
an exit row.
Maybe
guy.
it's like a parachute.
Got it. Got it.
By the way,
here's
I-
what I know.
neither am
you're
I.
not. You're not an exit row. I know Bob doesn't like being window of the exit row because he
How
does.
did you know that?
Because you've. I remember
thinks he's gonna have an impulse.
Yes,
Me
he does
too.
not.
I have the
He does
same
not trust
Wow.
himself to not open the door.
Bro,
correct.
me
That's what
too.
he's told me that.
I know.
And I'm
I
like,
feel
all
the
right, well,
same
that's
way.
one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
It's like that meme, the guy who's gonna drink the cyanide.
Couple things.
Or jump off the cliff to kill him.
Don't jump on the mountain.
Remember that one, Bob? But I will say, I've been in an airplane
They
where
don't
I
open.
went skydiving.
They won't open unless they
But I'm
let
just,
them.
I'm telling you, I went skydiving on multiple occasions. When they open the door, you don't fly
correct.
out
I was gonna
from
say
the
the same
wind.
thing.
The
Correct.
wind doesn't suck you
But
out.
in the
Correct.
movies, they do.
Well, that's
And
movies.
that's
It doesn't
what I go
happen.
on.
No, but
Now, it will be blowing like crazy.
Might suck you out if you're right next to it and you open
Maybe
it.
if you're
And the
hanging out.
yeah, if
but
you're
like
at that, it
even
might.
when I went skydiving, you went and you have to get on the ledge and put your feet.
Correct.
the edge
Yeah, I'm out.
of the thing.
Correct.
And even then, you're not.
You got to talk in that mic though, Pete.
Even then, you're not sucked out. You have to go and literally put your feet out, so you're hanging out. Like if this is the plane here, I'm hanging out.
But the difference, Joe, is we're in a
Looks like he's about to
pressurized
be in like a
cabin.
b-ball mixtape right
It's the
now.
same thing. It's a plane. It's a normal plane.
You all right?
Oh, the smallest
Good
bladder
thing you weren't
strikes
sitting next
again.
to Cutsy on an airplane.
Yeah. Guys in the window seat.
It's a normal
We didn't let
plane
it
that
go.
you go up. It's a small little normal aircraft when you jump out as well.
But those are also, I don't think they're going as fast and they're lower.
Yes, correct. They're not as high and they're
But
not
I
going
still
as
don't
fast.
think that it would
Correct.
suck you
And
out.
there
It
have
might.
been
It
videos.
would
I
absolutely
think
suck
you
it
haven't
out.
seen.
I think the fact that you're in a pressurized cabin means
Correct.
something.
Well, you're going extreme amount of speed, much faster than that. You don't jump out of a plane going
But they
500
would
miles an
slow
hour.
the plane down to open the door. I would imagine.
Correct, but if you open
Of the big carrier, they wouldn't keep going full speed. If they had to open it out for you to parachute, they're gonna
That's my point.
stabilize.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, folks, sorry to interrupt the program, but want to let you know that we are sponsored here by the fine folks over at Shady Rays, the best, the only sunglasses in the game as far as I'm concerned, on and off the golf course, with a protection program, independently owned company. These things are absolutely tremendous. Protection program, if you don't like the glasses or if they break, get a new one within 30 days of your purchase. Head on over to shadyrays.com. That's going to be shadyrays.com. Use promo code BDS. That's promo code BDS for 35% off your purchase today. Thanks to the fine folks at Shady Rays.
That's the thing that's scary with flights. You know, you see some of these videos come out. It's like once you're in the air, if somebody then acts up, like the only thing that can solve it, which happens, is people from the plane like band together and they'll like hold the guy down, and then they have to have an emergency landing. It's like once you're up there, it's scary.
you only see
band with
those
someone?
videos.
What's that?
Would you be some? Would you create a band of brothers on the plane if that happened?
I would
If
do
a guy
it.
was like
Yeah.
threatening, fuck yeah, it's kill or be
You,
killed.
what's it called?
Not kill.
You only see those videos the night before you have a flight too.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
It's always your airline too.
Yeah, and
the
it's
airline
going to
that
the
you're
place
gonna be
you're going.
taking
It's
to.
insanity. It's like, all right, great.
Yeah.
I like on TikTok. Sometimes they have there's like videos, and it's like the air traffic control to pilot, like when crazy stuff happens, and then
yeah.
talking.
They're
Like
so transcripts.
sometimes it's like funny stuff. Sometimes it's like they do some crazy landing, and they're
guy's
like the
seen
calmest
everything on the
people of all
internet.
time, and they're just like, yeah, over. We're going to the Hudson. Like, all right, sick.
What haven't you seen on the internet, dude?
See,
Like, what is there?
I mean,
not
I've
to
seen a lot,
see?
but I will tell you,
He lives
the
in the
internet
meme.
I have learned is so vastly massive. Does that make sense? Or is it vast and massive?
So vast.
It is so large that there are corners of it that it's like the earth. It's like the dust of the sand. But there are things that I will see on the internet, and I'm like, there's a whole world. It pisses me off because I'm like, I don't know about this. Like, there's a whole community of these,
Bro,
this
I learned
type of
about
stuff.
type shit today.
type shit.
About what?
Type
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
No one know. We're
But
still
the best is,
unconfirmed
like,
what it
when
means.
you throw out something that you've seen on the internet, and it's like if you know, you know, and then one of you guys know, and then you catch on.
It's like a quote usually.
Like,
Dude,
yo,
holy
talk about
shit.
traffic after a game, leaving the garden with what these guys do. It's like a thing now. Like when the Knicks win a playoff game, everybody hangs around and people like vlog, and then
Yeah.
everybody.
That's where Bing Bong came from, by the way.
Yeah.
The subway, right?
Yeah.
I'm a Nets guy, not a Knicks guy, but when these guys are in the playoffs, it's just so much
the
better
Garden's
because
sick.
it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet getting like mobbed by people.
He was into it. He's the man. That guy,
I
You like
that
him?
guy.
I do.
Okay.
I
He's
thought-
like the new guy, right? He's like the next
He
Spike
just did
Lee.
he was just on
Spike Lee.
He was just on 60 Minutes the other night.
Yes, he's always on
Chalamet
everywhere.
was.
Oh, check it out.
How long was it?
What did it come on out after football everywhere
Yeah,
except
but
the West
not
Coast?
the West Coast, unfortunately. They had to wait a bit. He was cool as shit.
Yeah, he was on a few months ago too.
What was the
It's
60
probably the
minutes?
same thing.
Just
No,
about
because it was
him?
Bob Dylan. It was probably
It was
a
probably
rerun.
exactly the
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing,
He
yeah.
wears the Timberlands without lacing them
velour
up. I don't
suit.
know how he keeps them on his feet.
Fucking velour suit.
Like, nothing.
Fucking Timberlands.
Sunday scaries when you hear that tick 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 and you have a job the next day.
Oh,
That's nothing worse than that, bro.
After
That's the
football?
end,
That is
that's
Sunday
the end of your
scaries,
weekend.
dude.
That tick 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 is the end of
It's
your
like
weekend.
the fourth quarter. The
Yes.
Chargers are playing the
Yes.
Niners. They're like
Yes.
tick tick tick
So
tick tick tick
good.
tick.
Yeah,
Like, I'm fucked.
dude.
You're like I got work tomorrow.
I can't really enjoy.
So good.
Back in the day, you can't even really enjoy a Sunday night football game.
No, you
Correct.
couldn't.
I
I couldn't
couldn't back
either.
then.
When
And
when you know you have work the night,
Yeah.
when that last afternoon game ends,
Yeah.
and
You get
then
that
tick
hour
tick
in
tick tick tick.
between,
When Jim
yeah.
Nance lets you
Yeah.
go,
Oh, it's
that's
great
that's
now.
when Monday starts.
Yeah.
It's great now though.
Well, we're very
now,
lucky.
yeah, I don't even. Yeah, what day is it? I don't even know what day it is.
We're very lucky. But
That
yeah,
is true though, man. When you hear that tick, there's just it's
great
horrible.
program, by the way. Great journalism.
Who was
Sometimes
the old guy? Who was the guy who passed away? Who was always something?
I'm gonna nail his
Lester
name.
Stahl would be one.
No, he was the original guy.
Mike Wallace.
Yes,
Yes.
Mike Wallace.
Yeah.
I watch Kello 60 minutes
What's the other
in
one
my
that-
time.
Sick, man.
All right, let's
Mike Wallace.
let's get into. We got a couple of Q&As brought to you by the Par 3 Poppy.
Oh.
And then we're on to the major.
It's good to have Pop with us.
This is pretty fucking sick,
Yes,
dude.
incredible.
Yeah, you'll be here for 20 minutes.
Fuck you, dude.
Wow.
He's got a Chicago wedding to go to.
Tough.
It is true. We're only filming like 2 days with, you know.
Pop's been eyeing those flights out of here.
That's why Jetson's such a good mood, dude. The guy's not here for fucking 10
I
days.
talked to him before the trip, and
Oh,
usually
he's
before
all
every
smile.
trip,
Oh, man, that
before
sounds
every
sick,
trip is
dude.
when he's at his darkest, and that's
I
why
like
he'll
going
call
on the
me and be
trip.
like, I don't fuck this.
No,
but
that's
on
not
this one, he's like, you know,
true.
Bob, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna really enjoy it. And I thought about it. I'm like, yo, he's here for like 2 days.
It's
No
not
wonder.
true. I want to do the road trip, which we're doing after.
Oh, we don't leave here.
I would love to do the road trip. I would love to do all
BYU
this stuff.
before I know it.
And granted, he's always you know you do want the honest opinion, but when I was showing them Jupiter for the first time, it was just you two.
It was me and him.
down there, and he like there was a couple things he didn't like, and he just started dogging it.
Oh,
And it was
we
the
did- we
worst
both
feeling,
did.
'cause
We
you
hated
want
Brought
it.
us
them-
in July.
We went to a
Yeah,
were at a
no,
bad
that's
hotel.
true. I don't want you to lie about it. That's
When
true.
we went
It's
to
never
Jupiter for the
been
first
hot.
time, it was fucking awesome.
But that was the
We were
second
in
time we
October,
went.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it was
in October.
unbelievable.
time.
Yeah.
And Bob made a point
My
of
first
like
time,
getting
yeah.
us on a boat.
Yeah.
I pulled out all the stops.
It's a recruiting trip.
But the July to show us for the first time, it's so hot.
No,
it
that-
was
I know.
like
We were in a hotel. Do you remember? We
You,
were splitting-
you
we were sharing
oversold
a
Jupiter in a
room.
way
having
with that
ramen,
trip.
taking
Because then when I got
Australian
there, I was like,
basketball.
oh, this isn't my life.
You thought you were going to be on a boat?
I thought I was
every
going to be
day?
on Jupiter Country Club every day, on a boat. It was going to be a gorgeous 65 every day.
It is
And
great. It is
It is
nice.
great.
Cut to
You've really turned around on it. D, you did
I
a
like
whole
it a lot.
180.
Yeah, Nicole loves it. I like it a lot.
Stoob
It's-
loves it.
And you know what? I'm going to spend the whole. This will be the first time I'm there for the whole summer. Because last year for our wedding, we were gone all of August. I was gone most of July. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be there through the whole thick and thin. But I will say this: that for the heat, as bad as it is everybody gets the fuck out of there. So you have the place to yourself.
Yeah.
And that's really nice.
Yeah, it's just that summer that I do understand you guys not loving it. To bring you guys down in the summer probably was not the best play. That's why everybody leaves during that time. But all right, Pop, let it fly.
First question comes from Kobe.33. Who rips ass the most?
Yeah, probably Bob.
Bob's insides are fucked.
What a question, dude.
You
close
go
second.
No, you might be first.
Yeah, I'm saying it's me.
He's
There's
got
Bob,
the, he's
I
got the
would say.
stinkiest.
But when
you let him.
What trip was it where your insides
It
were
was
just
Virginia.
Grand Geneva. No. The ranch powder.
Grand Geneva,
was Grand
Virginia.
Geneva.
I'll tell you, when I go. Like I'm all
Dude,
out.
in
that ranch
Virginia,
powder
you
had
were
you
ripping
Yeah.
ass
Listen,
nonstop.
Great question there.
Something about when the D-man rips fart like on the during the show. It's my favorite.
It's
thing,
rarity
like,
though. You
but-
three are rare farters.
Yeah, I don't fart that often.
Who's a rare farter?
You three.
Yeah.
I let him fly.
All right, Pop.
Okay, next one. Peter Moy
Who
23.
shits the most?
When is the Yaman Break 90 series coming?
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Wow.
Listen, let's get Bob under 80, him under 75, and him under 70, and then I'll participate one at a time.
The thing that I think we really should discuss, I'd be curious what the fans think.
I broke a 90 once. But
I
it's
do.
Fake.
My favorite series to watch on YouTube is Riggs' Hater series because there's nothing else like it. There's no like. It's so rare to find like the real bad blood like that Riggs has. That these guys, these haters come on. The D-Man talked about doing his version of that, and knowing that Joe would go at it with these guys. Like,
Just have him play the person who sat next to him on the flight.
but no, I mean,
Or the guy at
That'd be
Cava.
good.
I would be curious if people would want to see that. Like, I think
Or
if
the guy-
there's
Oh,
like
they
a
would.
real, like you
Yeah.
bring in one of these haters, it's not like he's gonna like
There's a lot of
change. He's gonna
trolls.
go
I think
at
a
it.
lot of people wouldn't actually
I agree.
have the
I
balls to
agree.
come and play.
Well, that's what Brendan said from Board Play. He said, with this hater series, because I always ask him when it's coming. He's like, you'd be surprised how hard it is to get
They
these
gotta put their
guys.
face
People
out
are pretty
there.
tough behind the keyboard of an internet, screen. when they have to face the music, and also too, I don't think we talk about it. I do think playing on camera, like if you never played on camera, remember the first time FP when you played on camera, and even with me, it's a different experience. It's not what you're used to. So there's nerves. There's like a lot of stuff that for just a guy who's never done it to show up, and then you have a whole camera crew and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure that it makes it difficult for those guys to go and do
Well,
that.
you'll see it. I mean, in his series, there'll be like 4 or 5 handicaps, but then they'll play and they'll shoot in the hundreds. Like that's what's good. But that when these guys come, like Joe's not going to even ask if they want lunch. Like Riggs will.
Joe versus Schmo.
Wouldn't it be nice to just beat a hater?
Oh, I'd fucking love
Beat a
that.
hater. Joe versus Schmo, yeah.
Joe
I also
versus
think
Schmo.
people who complain, and I don't want to get too into it, but I'm going to say this because it bothers me. People who complain about handicaps, they go, oh, you're a 10 handicap, as if you're supposed to shoot 10 over par every single
That's
round
true,
you play,
yeah.
drives me insane. It's like they don't understand what the handicap is.
There's handicap plays like that is
It's
such a
insanity.
hostile conversation.
You play with somebody one time, you hit 3 good shots. They're like, you're not a 17. Like, what are you talking about? It's like, yo,
Correct.
it's golf, dude. Like, guys shoot 80 and then 65.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
I'll have it when I'll like go out with somebody who hasn't played, and I'll tell them what I am. Like I'll tell them
Right.
what it is, and then
You'll hit one
I'll
drive.
hit my first shot down the fairway. He's like, "That's bullshit." He's not
Sand-
13, 14. It's
Sandbagger.
like, just hang on. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot a triple next hole. Like
Well, you
it's
saw
insanity.
Riggs just shot a 69, and like I
amazing.
believe it. And because people will be like, "That's not possible. He's lying." I don't know like how much of a scumbag you would have to be to go and lie about your score like to that extent. Like even if you lied and said like I shot a 75, but to say you shot a 69 and to lie about it, you would have to be the biggest scumbag of all time. And Riggs actually cares about the game, and he takes himself seriously as a golfer. So I believe he did that, but people will be like, "There's no way he could do that," and there absolutely
Right.
is.
Insane.
It's just golf.
It
Some
drives
days
me
it just
nuts.
goes
you
like
played
that.
a round where didn't you play a round where he was like 2 under through
was
8?
6 under through 9.
No, I'm talking about when you play with Riggs. You play with Riggs and Pinehurst, and you said he was lighting it
Yeah,
up.
he was on it was Pinehurst Ford. He was like 3 under. What? 2 under on the front and like 3 under at one point. Drinks got going. I mean, we both kind of fell off, but yeah, I mean, especially when you're giving a guy strokes, like, he's got it in him. It's just like consistency.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. And he can putt. I mean, for what you want, for what people say online with the putting stroke, guy makes a lot of putts.
Yeah,
Clutch ones too, at least
For
back
us,
when we
played them. We got to get that rematch going,
Yeah.
man.
I can't believe we have been doing some losing, man.
We have.
We've got to. There was a time where I
You've been
felt
back.
like I know, but I'm saying like generally as a whole, we lost a foreplay. We got killed by fucking spitting chicklets, which we
Hey,
need to get back at that.
That
We
was
lost-
booze.
That was bad.
I'll
Wyndham
tell you,
Clark.
well, they got us to a
We
point
got
where like
boat.
Wyndham Clark was crazy.
We
got
got
dog
walks.
That was insane.
that was
Yeah.
bad.
Dog
Also,
walk.
the quarterback
You know,
Arizona.
Yeah, that was the
Our
quarterbacks got you.
Our worst loss we've ever had. We
Quarterbacks.
talked about it the other day because we were at the course when we lost to the Dan Lebitard show.
Yeah.
Leon.
Leroy.
Leroy.
Our ass.
We've never been
We
lower.
lost to Leroy is who we lost to.
You didn't lose to Stu Gotts.
No, we
you
didn't.
lost to Leroy.
Leroy
Chicklets guy.
curb stomped our ass.
The worst loss we've ever had because of how bad we were beating them, where we were. Our downfall of the Spitting Chicklets first one was the worst. And then we came into the second one and they humiliated us in regards to not just score, we were going at it with each other. Like,
Gotta get
We got
gotta get
so
back together.
shocked, though too. Like we
but you know what?
Gotta
be
get a
better.
rematch. Gotta
I
get a
know, we
rematch.
gotta be better.
Yeah.
Gotta get another couple of those on the
I
books.
want
The
that.
Ryder Cup weekend.
Right, yeah, it doesn't even have to be like a long, like it could be 2-3 days somewhere and set up. Like I think of like you do it Ryder Cup where then like you have the 1v1s where like I would go against Biz, Joe going against Yandel would be hilarious. FP versus Witt, like that whole thing.
Yeah,
would
that is
be,
good.
Yeah.
What is the Ryder Cup? The different they do alt shot.
It's 4-ball foursomes and individual.
Single.
4-ball
Single
is
matches.
best ball essentially. Foursomes is the alt shot, and then they do
That would
singles.
be,
I
if
think.
there's
Right?
a place out there that would be willing to host that.
Oh, yeah, that actually is a great idea.
because they would have a lot of people. But if there's a place out there that would be willing to host that, I would love to do that for a weekend. And the behind the scenes we would get, dinners
so
would
sick.
be amazing. All right, Pop, let's do one, maybe 2 more.
Okay, next question comes from Shane.Bernard15. Who's the best roommate while traveling, best to worst ranking?
This is gonna get. I'm staying out of this.
It depends what you value in a roommate, I would
don't
say.
know. Yeah.
Joe is historically snored.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's just
roommate with anyone.
yeah, yeah. For
You
that,
roomed with J-Bone last time. How was
We had a
that?
good time.
J-Bone actually was the one who lashed out.
Oh
in the
yeah,
middle of the
he
night.
screamed in his sleep.
Jeez.
Not again.
I do scream in my sleep. Yeah.
Fuck.
Is that really what he
All right,
said?
maybe he's pretty low then.
No, but I will say he
Horrifying.
was very respectful. I enjoyed sharing a room with him.
But is that what
it
he
was
said,
in the
not
middle of the
again?
night. It was like
He warned us about
4:35 in the
this.
morning. I was getting ready to go to the bathroom. I was coming back to my bed, and he went like this. Not again. And I was like,
Oh my God.
oh my! He shrieked, and I was like,
That's
"Yo, are you
horrifying.
okay?" And he just like went back. And I was
That's
like, "Yo, what the fuck is that?"
Not again.
That's so bad.
In his dream,
I could
Jet was
just,
falling
what happened? I couldn't have just gone to bed.
I can't
I couldn't
make
have
that
just
up.
like kept going into that room and gone to sleep after like the
I
guy
know.
in the room has done that. I'm gonna go sleep on the couch.
Not again.
Not again.
Not
I'm not sleeping in here.
Not again
No chance.
implies something happened the first time.
Yeah, no. And I will not be a part of the again. All right, I'm not going to be the
third
Yeah,
I was
I'm out.
beside myself, dude. I was just like, oh, I thought I had disrupted him because I was like trying to be quiet, when you're like going back to bed, and it just happened, and I was like, oh. And then he just went back to sleep.
That's so
and then I
funny.
said to him in the morning, I was like, do you have any idea what app? And then he played me a thing where he used to record himself talking and shrieking. in his
You
sleep.
got some. Yeah, J-Bone.
You're a kooky little guy. You're a
It
kooky
used to be.
little man.
It used to be worse. Like I used to just scream at the top of
Well,
my
you
lungs.
screamed.
Well, no, but like it would be like a prolonged like it's like someone's trying to murder me.
So like, oh, okay, got it.
That
so
being
has this
said, I
been,
would
but has
room
this
with
been
him
like,
again.
it's just they just like let it go, or you had like somebody? Did
I mean,
you look into it?
No, not medically, but
Got
like
it.
no, it kind of just like fizzed out. I mean, I still do it every once in a while, but I live on my own now, so I have no idea how frequently I do
If
it.
you had to
anymore.
guess what you meant when you said "not again,"
Oh,
what do you think that
I think I
was?
could tell.
Probably my
It's,
fault,
it's
to
kind of
be
stupid.
honest.
No, like I'm pretty sure that night I was dreaming about playing flag football, and my team was just fucking up.
That's fair.
I like that.
Oh, that's
somebody
not
just
nearly-
somebody
I
just
thought
dropped
Jet
like a
was
pass. Like somebody
Yeah.
dropped the ball they shouldn't have, and you were like, "Not
Yeah,
again."
but I don't know if that was it. That's just all I
Okay.
remember.
So there was
Manifest
like
it.
no childhood stuff you don't think?
Well, I know my grandpa got the same thing. Like he did the same thing.
So it's
I don't know.
hereditary.
It
Runs in
could
the
be.
family.
Yeah.
Surely
custom
his
thing.
thing wasn't flag football.
No. It's a lot of times it's spiders, but I'm not like particularly afraid of spiders, so I don't know why.
Interesting.
I remember.
when you're talking about spiders, is that what you're saying?
No, like I think there's like a spider in my bed or something, and I freak out about it. But I'm not like particularly afraid of spiders, so I
That
don't know
being
why.
said, he was an enjoyable guy to room with. He was very easy.
Sounds like it.
Well, that was horrifying. But once I got past that, he also said, and you could be honest. He said that my snoring was not that bad on that trip.
No, I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
Also, my
There's times
dad
where
has
I'm worse.
snored his
I
whole
shared
life,
a room
so-
with him once on that same trip before on the previous place on that trip, and he made a call to a horse racing track at 1 a.m.
Okay, let's
looking
not act
for
like
food.
you asked me to make that call.
I don't recall that. That's not true. I didn't tell you to make.
What
Whoa.
the fuck is that?
We have both.
I didn't ask you to make that call.
we
Sounds-
both wanted
I don't think he's
food.
just pulling that out of
No, I
thin
said
air.
if you're gonna get food, I'll get something. But I didn't say call up that horse. I didn't say call up that horse racing track at 1 a.m.
You
Okay,
guys
but I
called
was I was
Rosies?
not gonna make that.
You guys called Rosie's?
Yeah.
Might have been Rose.
Yeah, it was Rosie.
Actually, that sounds right.
That's exactly what it was.
I was
Right.
not gonna
A
make
horse
that
came
call
and
on my
delivered
own.
it.
Colonial Downs.
the weekend that I
As
was in
if they're gonna have
Pinehurst,
food at 1 a.m.
the weekend that we
did.
met Subi, me and Joe were sharing a room, and I literally remember on the first night, it was in the middle of the night, and Joe, I always tried to get to sleep before him, because if not, like you're fucked.
fucked, yeah.
And I went over to. It was so loud that I went over, and he was fast asleep.
Brandon Magic Johnson.
And I
was gonna say, that's when you were sleeping in the Magic Johnson
He
jersey.
was fast asleep in a
Made a
retro
whole thing out
Magic
of it.
He did that in Boston with me.
yeah, do you always
he falls
sleep in
asleep in that
jerseys?
jersey a lot.
I used to wear it all the time.
That's the gas station popsicle
Yeah, it's
jersey.
I gotta
It's
get
the
another
SpongeBob
NBA jersey. I
popsicle.
like
No,
those
whenever
jerseys a lot.
you should just wear like a different retro
You
jersey.
get one for the week. Different
But
day of the
I
week.
was
Some-
over
yeah.
him, and I literally shook him. I was like, Joe. I woke up. And he finally woke up. And he looks at me, and I was like, dude, you're snoring so loud. He looks at me. He goes, no, I was not. Relax. And I was like, yo, you were unconscious. Like, what the fuck?
You think I'm just doing this?
He did a whole
like, I was
story.
just
He's like,
watching.
Magic Johnson takes the. Remember, you did like a
Oh, because
commentary.
he fell
I
asleep
fell
like
asleep
this.
like
Like, it looked like he was doing it behind the back.
He's just shit. Just like no look, just dish.
Dude, when was that? March.
When was
That's awesome.
March 21?
Oh, he's going back to find this thing.
20.
Well, this was where? This is where? Quail?
He fell asleep.
This was Pinehurst.
Before Pinehurst, we were Chucky in Raleigh, and we it was
Might have
like
been March 20, man.
It would have
Yeah,
been right
no.
around that time. And I remember he did,
it?
hey,
No, you
y'all,
got it.
what you gonna do? Hey, y'all, what you gonna do? You played the Space
I've been
Jam.
21.
I like that question.
Yeah, dude.
Remember you played the Space Jam track? There, that
Here it
was-
is. Here it is.
See, there's
it.
one
Is it
last
21?
question.
Show that.
He's dishing the rock. Ticket. We roomed together at the park on Melrose.
We roomed together a couple
Oh,
times.
I remember
For a little
that's
bit.
the gelato video, the Talenti, bro.
Yeah, this
we
Talenti.
watched-
We were watching
That was
Sebastian.
next to my place, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
I like rooming with Pop.
That was also where we did the big guy, Tiny Mike.
Big guy, tiny.
Yeah.
that's good.
I don't think anyone's ever seen that.
No.
So who is the
maybe-
worst roommate?
So,
we never answered the question.
Yeah.
Yo, I was
I
staying
think
with
it's all
Jeff.
even across the board. I
was
think
staying
everybody's
with-
got their
We've roomed.
me and you
For sure.
Yeah, we did a quaillodge.com.
You get a little.
Messy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, messy's
throw
not the
shit
right
everywhere.
word.
No, I would say
You-
because
you
Pop
just
says
sort of
nobody can
spread.
fuck up a
You
clean
spread.
room like me, like
Yeah.
with my suitcase.
True.
You just get. It's not messy because it's not dirty. It's just
There's just
you-
things that
you
are over-
strew.
yeah.
Strew it.
Yeah.
You talk too in your
He-
sleep as well, though. When I was
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
staying with you
Yeah,
the
you
other
do.
day, and I don't know if I told you this, but when I was staying on your couch,
that I was talking in my sleep.
you were talking in your sleep. It was
I'm a
like 1 in the
talker.
morning, and you were like, "Tick, where are you going?" And I was like, I was just sitting there.
Did I shriek?
And then he was like, "You just got here." And I was-
Yeah, and then he
That
came back
sounds
in.
right.
And he was sneaking out.
like
That's
Jet
what he
and
was
you.
doing.
That's right.
But I will say, I have that for sure.
Jet would be like, I already sent it.
No, he was in
we
his
just, like-
bedroom sleeping, and I was just on his couch, like underneath the blankets, and he was just like, "Tick, where you going?"
Listen,
And he's
you
like,
ruined-
just
Well,
got-
If
you
you-
also told me recently when you
Where did
roomed
that
with
hat
him,
just come from?
that Jet Jet would be watching games
where
till
did
late
that-
at night, and you were on the
I don't know.
couch.
Yeah, but that's
but we were betting
I'm in his
together.
house though, so that's not a big issue. If we were in a room together, that'd be a separate thing.
I'm good for banter. I'll
If you're
give you
gonna
that.
let me stay at your
We used
home,
to
you can
talk
do whatever you want in your home.
Yeah, but I do totally understand. My stuff gets a little all over the place, and I'll talk in my sleep. But if you're in like if you want to like hang out,
Have you always
good.
talked in
We
your
had
sleep?
fun.
Is that like a long going thing?
I think when I was like a kid, I might have had a Jensen situation.
I mean, even
on my
when we would
hands.
room together in the early Bob to Sports.
Yeah, but we had a great
just like
time.
quick. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, we got to get over. We got to head on Grant's channel. Got to get down to the course. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thought that was a lot of fun. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for J-Bone to the Bob Does Sports Podcast. That's been another episode of the Bob Does Sports Podcast.